Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. YouTubers on the rise, reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long boys blues, 1975.
Welcome to another arcade versus home port. In this video we'll be taking a look at this game, the mighty Pit Fighter, released by Atari in 1919. Basically it's the first game to use the digitized likeness of, so nicked off Kickboxer by Van Damme there, digital likeness of actors, you know, where they motion captured them and then put them into the game. And yeah, it's a 1 to 3 player game, and basically you're stuck in a pit and you're fighting. I walked into that one, didn't I? But this was absolutely groundbreaking back in the day, like mind-blowing. I remember seeing this in the arcades and me and my mates, we all lost our shit over it. Just went, oh my god, it's got real people in it. Nowadays it's aged terribly, but there's no denying that it probably was the birth of Mortal Kombat. So I guess we have this to thank for it. There is a lesser known sequel to this which I have a gameplay of, but generally you can skip over that. But yeah, this was like groundbreaking and mind-blowing, and it has very limited number of moves, but you scale into the background, or out of the background into the foreground. And yeah, can you imagine having that on your resume that you are one of these 3 guys? Well, who are you? I was digitized into a 1990 Atari video game called Pit Fighter. Okay, I have no idea who you are. But yeah, so you got the wrestler, the kickboxer, and the karate guy. No one wanted to play as the karate guy, Kato. Sorry, Kato, if you're watching this. But we will be doing a triple whammy, and we will be comparing this. Well, look at Sergeant Slaughter, he was small, skinny, and bold. We'll be comparing this to the SNES version and the Megadrive version. There are a whole bunch of versions, you know, that I have gameplays of, such as the Commodore, which isn't bad. There's a Megadrive Master System, sorry. There's a Game Boy. There's a Spectrum, an Amstrad, Amiga, and Atari ST. Pretty much, they're all pants. But obviously, I like to I'll learn to talk in a minute. I'm being blown away by these digitized graphics. I like to concentrate on the console ports, which you would think of all the ports would be the best. I kind of think, but we'll get into that. Don't get me wrong, I like one of the ports we're about to play. I like it a lot. But the other one, we'll save it till we play it. It's just a wasted opportunity of the hardware. I say I don't know how to program, or certainly didn't know how to program back then because I was 13. Anyway, let's get into, look at that. Let's get into it. Right, so money. This is on Midway Collection 2, but it doesn't run properly. It runs like 4 times as fast. I don't know why. So I'm playing this on MAME, so hopefully this will run properly. Look, it's humongous from Mad Max 2. There we go. Right, so you can be Buzz X Pro Wrestler, you can be Thai Kickboxing Champion, and you can be Kato, 3rd degree black belt. Yes, sorry Kato, as I said. Right, Ty's cool, he's clearly nicked off or modelled on Van Damme, which, you know, is a cool thing, because way back then in 1990, this was when Van Damme was still cool, kicking asses and shit like that. Right. Everyone wanted to play as him for a spin kick. So you've got 3 buttons. You're basically in a pit fighting for money. It's a legal fight. You know, so my health's top left, and then there you go. So you've got jump, punch. Animation's not amazing, but it's alright. And then you got press your kick and punch at the same time, and you will do a flying kick. Oh, and then press all 3 at once, and you'll do your triple Van damage. Sweet. It gets, you know, consistently harder. The controls, they're not amazing, but they're not terrible. Oh, look. But yeah, it's not known for, I guess it's more style over substance, isn't it? Yeah, look at some Like Your Life. So it's not known for its amazing controls or being an amazing fighter. Even, you know, what was it competing against at the time? Obviously it's pre-Street Fighter, but yeah. But you got to remember, because of how it looked, you know, this was a whole new thing, a whole big thing. Look, I'm so fucking hard, they can only pick me up with a forklift that I'm bigger than. And there's my money underneath. A tad unnecessary. They should do a panel at like a Comic-Con or something, or a computer show, where they get these characters back. You know, so like a panel of the original fighters from Get off me! Pit Fighter. Right. When I'm red... Oh, you can pick up shit. If you back into the audience... See, I had a knife. You back into the audience, they will throw you back into the fight and... take health off you. So, that... me flashing red, is that... that's damage I can take before my damage? I don't know. I mean, look at the scaling. Look at it, Marge, look at it. It's alright. Animation's a bit pants, but again, you've got to picture when this came out. You know, this is a couple of years before Mortal Kombat, which clearly it laid the groundwork for. See, look. Just keep resorting to doing this. Stop showing off. But yeah, I'm still moderately impressed with the graphics. Again, if you... ooh. Think about it, as I said, remember when this came out, there was nothing this shiny and or fantastic, tasty and delicious, if you will, in the arcade. Really not sure how I did that, but yeah. I might be getting a bit sluggish because I'm running it on main. Fight Purse, still picking me up on a forklift. Look at those badass, well, at this point, technically they're 80s dudes. Oh look, oh, I'm on a boat, it's got a mirror ball. I'm fighting my evil self. Oh, was that a knockdown? Oh, it's best of 3 knockdowns. That counts even though she knocked him down. Anyway, pretty sure you've got a feel for this. Pretty sure you know what this is. Pretty sure you're aware of how pants it is on pretty much all the other systems. Hey, it's humongous. So let's jump in and have a look at the SNES version. Here we go, Pit Fighter running on the SNES, developed by THQ. Oh, this is going to end in tears, that's not a good sign. And released by Tengen in 1991, which is the same year that the Megadrive version was released. This is an NTSC North American ROM, so let's see how it plays. Now, right off the bat, the way I capture it is not going to do it any favours, but even if you did this properly at the highest definition you possibly could, it's not going to make the visuals look a whole lot better. This is how it looks. It's shit. Yes. Your sprites are digitized, you know, so I guess right off the bat it ticks one box, and you could be like, hey, we got digitized, you know, well, we got Pitfire at home with its digitized actors and stuff like that. There's no scaling. This is what I don't get, and this is what I didn't get back in the day, and what's the most disappointing thing for everyone was we weren't expecting it to be arcade perfect. We were not. This is considered one of the worst games on the SNES, by the way. No, we really weren't expecting it to be arcade perfect. Even then, we knew the limitations of these machines compared to the arcade hardware, but the SNES has hardware sprite scaling capabilities. Why didn't they use them? Was it a time limit thing? Was it just sheer laziness? But you would think if they were going to port Pit Fighter, which sort of is one of its, well, two of its most famous things are the digitized graphics, and the other one being the scaling of the sprites. Why didn't they do that? I mean, certainly they couldn't have done that on the Mega Drive, so that would have given them steps up over that immediately, but nope. This game, it's terrible. I've not even played it, but I have played it before, but let's get into it. But yeah, that's the confines of the screen. Right, so you press start. That's it. It is 2-player if you want to. Good luck finding someone who wants to play this with you. You don't press left or right, you press select to select your character. Why? Why? I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it goes against every other version of a select screen I've ever played with a fighter in. So we'll go with Ty, same moves as the arcade. Look, he broke the fourth wall. Watch your face. Right. See, I stand there posing and the bad guy gets the first fucking kicking. You don't have health bars, you have that thing top left which says plus whatever, and it's, you know, that's his health, and I deplete it. Now, look, I'll try and show you it, but he just runs, dope test it. I can't run away from him. This is the confines of the screen. Yeah, the audience, I mean, I guess if you were desperate to play the arcade game at home, you'd be like, oh look, it's Pit Fighter, actors and stuff, but such a weak version. I don't even know if I can do, I've got a kick. Oh, and he killed me. Are you ready for the worst bit? He killed me. Here's the worst bit. Why would you do this? Who wrote this? Who played this? Who signed this off? Game over? Yeah. One life. No continues. One life, no continues, with controls that are that broken. I don't understand. You know, I can accept no scaling, I guess. I can accept, and we didn't even mention that, the shit music on the smallest loop ever and the crap sound effects, but at least if you're going to drop 35 quid on this back in the day, give me the chance to, even though it's shit, to persevere. Let's go with Buzz. Persevere and get through some characters, because yeah, magazines hated this. It is considered, like I said, pretty much one of the worst games on the system. Oh, I forgot that Buzz is even more useless than the other guy with these controls. I don't think the audience does anything to the bad guy. I don't even know if there's obstacles to, or boxes or knives to use. Mainly because I've never got particularly far in it, because it's awful. I had mates back in the day, right, who bought this for like 35 quid, knew that no one else was going to buy it off them because its reputation preceded it, even back then, and then just gave it away for free. I personally would have used it as an ashtray or something, you know, let it have somewhat a productive life, but I cannot believe they dropped the ball this badly. I really can. Shall we have a go with Kato out of pity? Because let's be honest, he's probably sat there in this game for fucking 20 years and just said, no one ever plays with me. That's right, Kato, with your driving gloves. Look, and the animation is awful. I mean, layman's terms, yeah, you got your digitized sprites, as I said, it looks like the arcade game, but I don't know, scaling and stuff like that, even if it didn't scale, just use some of the power. Look at the ports they did of Street Fighter. I know that's not the same sort of game and doesn't have scaling, but come on, look at the Mortal Kombat ports. Did they basically just cobble this together and bang it out because they just knew that it was popular, that the kids would buy it anyway? Or by the time they realised it was shit, it was too late for them and they already made a bunch of money? I don't know. If you know something about this that I'm missing about why it is such a shit port, by all means, please tell me, because, you know, curious minds want to know. I couldn't even kill him. I think the furthest I've ever got on this version, but it's generous one life, is 2.5 opponents in. Anyway, it can't get any worse than this, can it? Or can't it? Let's have a look at the Sega Megadrive version. So here we go with Pit Fighter on the Sega Megadrive. Again, it was released by Tengen in 1991, but this time it was developed by Sega, so we have a pretty good chance it's already going to be better than the THQ version on the SNES. So let's get into it. However, I will say, immediately right off the bat, you can see, well, you've got more music reminiscent of the arcade machine, and you've got the visuals of the arcade machine. So as limited as the hardware is compared to that, it's at least trying to give the experience of the arcade, or the atmosphere of the arcade, I should say. So that's kind of cool. That's actually really kind of cool. I do like that. I like it a lot. Right, sorry Kato, no one's going to play as you again. So look, left and right is how you select Buzz, Tai, Kato. Immediately, even though this is smaller, this looks better. This absolutely looks better. Broke the fourth wall. Now match one, show no mercy. First off, immediately you can see, if you look at the top left hand corner of the screen, that it's gone for replicating the arcade. Why they did not do that on the SNES, I do not know. Now it may be smaller, you know, confined to the screen. You may have less people in the background, but these are not just a wall of grey. They're more alive. They do hurt you. Did I just hit him with my stomach? But what you can tell immediately is, graphically, I think this is better than the SNES, way better. There's animation, there's really good animation, there's sound effects, there's sampled speech, there's music in the game that actually sounds alright. Look, the spittle comes off the bad guy, and I'm going to attempt to do his... Oh, and it plays. It plays alright. It plays really well, in fact. It pisses all over the SNES version. This got about sort of 70 to 80% reviews back in the day. It was considered, you know, considering the limitations of the Mega Drive and the hardware of the arcade, this is probably as best as you're going to get. I mean, it's a different fighting experience, more limited anyway, move-wise, than Street Fighter. But, you know, oh, and I'm pretty sure you get more than one life. But yeah, it's playable. It's playable. Your character is quick and responsive. It's smaller as it is kind of to the SNES. It's better graphics. This scene here doesn't look like shit. The fact that we got the stuff in the top left-hand corner. What were THQ thinking? Seriously. Look. Now, I didn't get to the second stage on that gameplay, but I have. And I can assure you that there weren't boxes at that point. Knife. Oh look, and the crowd is attacking me. This is a really decent, you know, not half bad port. I'm really quite impressed. In fact, I had this back in the day, not on my Mega Drive. I saw a cheap PAL version of it, so my brother's PAL Mega Drive, I bought it and I played it on that. I mean, it was like in a second-hand store. And There we go. I really quite liked it. The memories have come flooding back. Right, just rotate. You pick up with one button and you throw with the other. Okay, that music's a bit shit, but compared to anything we just heard on the SNES, do you know what? This is streets ahead of the SNES version. The background characters may be more sparse, but they're accurate. They do something. Look, they just twatted in then. I just like the fact that it plays really quite tightly. There's a bit of blood in there, not much. Do you know what? This is no Street Fighter and stuff like that, no Mortal Kombat, but I would say it's definitely worth a pop on the Mega Drive. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can see it. It's like bread and butter. The difference is bread and butter. No, they're pretty much the same thing. But you know what I mean. Like the difference between this and the SNES version is so apparent. That version is a lazy cash-in port with no effort made whatsoever. This one, you know, works with the limits of the hardware. Look, see, I got more than one life, and plays really well. I think it looks all right. Again, it's no Street Fighter, but it looks all right, and it's digitized and stuff like that. This is a nice little home port. This is probably the best home port if you look at, you know, all the 8-bit systems and the 16-bit systems. Seriously, this is probably the best home port of this machine, even if it doesn't attempt to, because it can't do the scaling. So bottom line is, it was an arcade machine. You know, we really, you know, we had no right to expect to be able to be done at home properly. You know, but still disappointing they didn't even attempt scaling on the SNES. But yeah, arcade couldn't be done at home. SNES, no effort, shit. Mega Drive version, worked with the limits of the hardware, the best version. So of all these 3 games, 2 games I say, 2 versions of the arcade, this is the one you want to play. This is probably the home port you want to play. Anyway, waffle a bit too much there. As always, I'd love to know what you think on all the versions, particularly these 3. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Sorry, I just have to get one more triple van damage in.